What is up, my fellow Chibits? Today, I'm here to bring all of you a new manga first impressions on Chapter 1 of a new manga series that came out 2 days ago called Jagaaaaaan. Now, hopefully I'm saying it right. The first chapter is out, and there's only one chapter out at this time, and apparently it's going to be a weekly manga series. Now, this is not a manga series meant for anyone that is under 18, because there is a lot of gore and sexual content in this first chapter. However, if that does not bug you, then go out of your way and do whatever you feel like. But I'm just saying right now, as a pre-warning, if gore and sexual content bugs you, the first chapter of Jagaaaaaan is definitely not for you. Now, with that out of the way, what is it about? Well, the first chapter, I have to say, is very weird. The art style reminds me a lot of the spin-off series, I Am a Hero, and actually, it is by the same person that did the spin-off series of I Am a Hero. So if you know about that series, if you know about the spin-off series, I Am a Hero, then you'll definitely know that the art style is done by the same exact dude. So that's really cool. The art style definitely was something I noticed that was very similar to something I've seen before. When I looked into it, I'm like, oh, okay, that explains it. It also reminded me a lot of Parasite's, overall art style and design when I was actually seeing some of the things towards the end of the chapter, which I'll talk about in a second. However, what is it about? Well, Jagaaaaaan starts off as a regular slice of life series and eventually turns into some form of supernatural type series towards the end. The overall plot, from what I'm seeing, is about a character that feels like his life is very boring. It's lame. Like, his life is just going down the traditional path of a regular person, and there's just nothing exciting about it at all. On top of that, he's a man that constantly has to put on many faces slash masks to actually fit in with society, even though he's thinking completely opposite of what he's actually saying or doing in real life. For instance, think about it like this, okay? You walk up to a group and you're like, hey guys, how you doing? You just acting all goofy and, just acting all funny and all that, but inside your mind, you're like, oh my fucking god, I hate these guys and all this, like, why am I having to do this? That's kind of how he is. He's a type of guy that puts on these masks. He puts on these masks to where he doesn't actually show what he is really thinking, how he truly feels about a certain situation. So overall, the character seems to be very weird, or in this way, he's very, like, he's almost actually a sociopath. I have to say he's probably a sociopath just because of the way he was acting in this chapter. I'm not saying a psychopath, a sociopath, because his personality is very warped and distorted, especially with how in his mind he was constantly thinking about shooting people, even though he was acting very natural. It's kind of like this, okay? This man, he's a police officer, and at the beginning of the chapter, he has to, stop a disturbance that's going on in town. You have this little group that's just being very, noisy. They're causing problems for the locals. It's just typical stuff. He goes up there and he's just trying to say, hey guys, can you leave this, all that? You guys have constantly been coming here. Could you please leave this area and stop annoying all the locals and stuff? And obviously, these guys, they don't want to leave. They're giving him, the lip and all that, just saying, get the fuck out of here, you're kind of boring and all that. I don't want to live a life like you. Like, the police officer, your life just seems very lame. And the main character, he's like, oh my god, I just want to shoot these guys. I just want to put them out. And you just see how, in his mind, he visually thinks of shooting each individual person and killing them, shooting them dead, and having a bullet hole in their head. And you're like, damn, this man is a freaking crazy bastard. He's wanting to kill people. And judging by the way the story is going, I'm going to assume that the path this is going down is that the main character is probably going to become a serial killer, because clearly, there was a lot of sides to him when it came to his character that showed that he might develop into that type of character, where he'll go out of his way to not hold back and kill anyone he wants because he has now been given a second chance at life, which we see towards the end of the chapter when he actually encounters this weird parasite-looking creature. I'm not even joking, that creature at the end of the chapter reminded me a lot of Parasite. If you've ever seen the manga series Parasite, or if you've ever watched the anime Parasite, you know what I'm talking about. The design of the head with the teeth and all that, it reminded me of Parasite, and I'm like, whoa! Like, did a creature from Parasite just pop out into this manga? I'm like, damn, like, that is really disturbing. And when, the main character, he's about to get completely fucked over and dies, he actually shoots, like, a mini spirit gun out of his fingers and kills this creature, and then some like, bird, owl thing starts talking to him. It's like, oh, this is good and all that, and the chapter pretty much concludes right then and there. So, the overall plot of the series so far, it hasn't really shown what the main objective is, but we could kind of get hints that the character definitely is going to become a sociopath. He's going to be someone that is going to kill people, definitely. I mean, if he's given the chance, given the option to do whatever he wants, especially now he's been given powers, he's probably going to kill people. And I'm assuming this is a seinen too, since, you know, it had sexual content in it, and also it had that amount of gore in it as well, because stuff we see in this chapter is definitely not suited for shonen fans. I'm just going to be point blank with you. So, definitely a series that is rather interesting. It's nothing, so to say, amazing. Nothing I say that is probably going to be the best manga I'm currently reading yet, because right now it's just the first chapter is out and it's just setting up everything. But the main character is interesting, because there's a lot of things wrong with his personality. There's flaws in his character that make me interested enough to want to know what is going on with him. Why does he act like he does? I mean, we do know he feels like his life is very lame, but what made him feel like this? What made his mind warp to this extent to where he just feels like this and he wants to put it into everyone? And also when he's like, the reason why I have this gun on my side is when I want to, I know I can have an option out when I feel like it. I can put them all down when I want to. And that's just the way he's thinking is very crazy. It's actually insane the way he's thinking. The way this man is actually thinking about shooting people, you're like, this dude is literally one step closer to actually probably killing everyone and becoming a murderer. That can easily happen with the way this character is being written. So, yeah. I say Jagaaaaaan, first chapter, is definitely worthy enough of a read. If you're into, you know, I guess, mature manga, you might like it. I don't think it's going to be for everyone, obviously, because, I mean, some might be turned off by the way the designs are, the art style, because the art style is a little bit different compared to the normal art style we see even in seinen series, and so if you're not a big fan of the art style, that might, you know, kind of turn you off from the series, because it is different from the standard manga nowadays, but which I welcome that. I welcome different unique art styles from manga, and since I do know about the mangaka, you know, I Am a Hero, the spin-off series of I Am a Hero, and I know and recognize this art style, it doesn't really bug me as much as it might bug some, because if this is your first time hearing about the series, and the first time hearing about, you know, the actual writer that wrote the spin-off of I Am a Hero, then most likely this art is going to feel like, whoa, what the fuck? But I personally enjoy the art style. I do think that there is some things in this, you know, first chapter that's obviously for shock value. I don't think it's the best thing I've ever seen, but it is definitely something I will keep my eyes on to see if it will become something rather grand in the future. So we'll see. There might be a chapter 2 review, there might not. I'll have to see where the series goes, to see where it, you know, develops, and see what direction the character takes. Because right now, if he does become a sociopath, he's definitely someone that I want to actually see develop more, because him wanting to, you know, kill people and shoot them all dead and all that, I'm like, huh. Like, I'd like more main characters like this, just to see crazier characters. That's something that really gets me. I love crazy characters, and if he's like that, I'm like, yo, must read. So, we'll see where it goes. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. You all have a wonderful day, or night, wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.